These are 23 redesigns that completely changed Minecraft history. Minecraft nowadays looks a lot different from how it started, and some ideas never even made it into full release, like with this tweak to Wandering Traders. Obviously, this is how the Wandering Trader looks nowadays. It's got this classic blue robes, and it looks like a nitwit villager on the inside, but originally, it used to look like this. And Mojang put out their book showing the world of Minecraft, and they showed off different concept art in there, and one of the things that we could see is that the Wandering Trader originally used to have this really big green bulb in the center of its forehead. I mean, I guess it's got plenty of real estate, but look at that. He looks like the worst version of Vision from Marvel. This is who Wanda shut down an entire city for. But they kept the blue robes, and then after that, they were like, oh, okay, what if we gave him a little hat? This version I do love. I gotta be honest. The little fedora, he looks like a traveling carny. That's very fun. But this one's kind of iconic, so now it's here to stay. Now, the Ravager isn't the only one that's had a number of changes. Oh, no. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna take care of that one. Just cleaning up the last section. Thanks. So the Ravager was originally called the Illager Beast, and one of the ideas on how to show it was giving it these horrible long legs. Look at this. They were originally just using these 3D models to kind of rough it out, and they made it look like a spider. This looks like that one Illager boss that we showed off in the Pillager Raids video. Ugh. And just to keep this even weirder, this original design was supposed to be scared of rabbits. So imagine just spawning a rabbit and this thing's just bolting around with its arms flailing. Ugh. We got some kind of ritualistic setup here, and the reason for this is because Minecraft items used to stack up to 100, and this is so not in the game nowadays that the max we can stack it up to is 99. Even with commands, we can't get it up to 100. So we've got the extra block off to the side. So by using the attribute command, you can get up to 99, and look at that. I've got 99 blocks of dirt on the ground, 99 blocks of dirt, pick them all up, and now it's back right up to 99 blocks of dirt in my inventory. I didn't catch on as much as the milk thing, but now it got reduced down to 64 in the InfDev stages of Minecraft. Originally, diamonds were called emeralds in the code, and the original idea was to have emeralds be what we were basing everything around in the game, and it wouldn't have been how like emeralds were rubies originally. It was still the diamond kind of look. They just called them emeralds, which is strange to think about. Could you imagine these kind of blue cyan colored emeralds? Very strange. I mean, even the advancement says diamonds. I don't feel like Minecraft would have caught on as much if it wasn't diamond ore. Diamond or what? Apparently emeralds. So here we've got ourselves a furnace, and what we're going to see with this example is originally you could use flint and steel and throw your items in to smelt them up. And the same was true of lava, which is kind of a funny concept to me, of the idea of just putting your cobblestone right on the edge, hoping that it gets exactly cooked enough but not burnt. Feels like trying to roast a marshmallow. And honestly, if this is the way that you could smelt ancient debris into netherite scrap, I think that'd be really cool. I mean, we have items that don't burn in lava, so imagine just throwing your ancient debris in and then walking in and picking up netherite scrap. I think that'd be cool. Maybe not raw chicken. I don't know what's worse, dying or having to have your corpse burned in lava because the person you killed you doesn't even know how to cook it. TNT. So originally, TNT would just ignite when you punched it. Oh, and we couldn't unignite it, and it would make it very dangerous. I mean, literally, you could just make a bomb that would explode just by setting it down, and the only way to disarm it was using something like shears at the time, was originally what Jeb wanted it to be. But how cool would this be if you're just running into the caves? You're doing something like mining for netherite, and then you just punch these to light them off. Very fun. Ooh, let's go into this cave here and see that sulfur was the original name for gunpowder, and originally, any mob that you killed would actually be able to drop this. Sorry, skeleton. Yeah, look at that. I could get sulfur from any mobs that I was able to kill off. And I get that in a sense, but it feels weird now. And considering sulfur smells terrible, I'm guessing that Minecraft originally just didn't smell very well. Maybe that's enough reason to change it. We've got ourselves the lectern. Not for me to give a sermon or anything, but the idea here is that the golden apple was originally added because of a joke that was hidden in someone who made a crafting guide on the Minecraft forums. So they made a post saying explain all of the actual recipes, and then in that, they said this one, and they said, oh, okay, joke item, the golden apple, here's how you craft it. It's not actually in the game. Notch saw that and said, well, I do have that power, and now we got golden apples in the game. You see this here? Well, it might look like the crafting table and say the exact same, but actually what's changed is that crafting tables used to be called workbenches. Look at this. We got ourselves a proper workbench, and then during the early phases of Minecraft, probably when they decided to call it Minecraft, they ended up calling it the crafting table. Crafting tables aren't the only one that changed, because if we look at this, we've also seen a big change in the way that our furnaces look now. See, furnaces used to have this top stone texture to them, which actually would have been kind of cool if you wanted to like blend it in. I mean, I've heard of people using furnaces for their floors, but here you could literally do that and be none the wiser. And considering you could tuck stuff inside of furnaces, this could have been a way to have almost hidden storage. Look at that. I mean, we are just hiding stone in stone. That seems a little pointless. But now it's just the regular furnace that we know, which still has a nice texture. I do like using this for floors, but it's not stone. So everyone knows the classic bee, right? I mean, they made a whole update about it. It's kind of hard to miss it. But originally, they tried a number of different tests about the bee. So we've got this version here as bee concept 1, which looks like a receding hairline. It looks like an old man. That's so weird. Bee concept 2 had all these. Looks a lot more like a bee, but it really proves that they shouldn't. Bee concept number 3, again, very similar. Bee concept 4 looks a little bit more familiar. I think it was smaller. They couldn't originally decide what size these were supposed to be, and they tried making them really tiny, and we'll see that with some of the next concepts. I'll be honest, these two are kind of cute. That one, I can't tell which side I'm looking at. Now they just look like stone golems. That one's cute. That one I'm a fan of. Also cute. And then finally, the bee that we're familiar with today. Making one of these as small as they had planned it to be would have been terrifying. Having them fly around, it looks cute now, but imagine having a bunch of these really mad at you. And then I punch it, and now you can barely even see that it's attacking me. Ow. Yeah, half a block in size definitely makes them a lot better for bumbling around. So now what we're looking at is the different changes of Minecraft's logo. Check this out. So originally, Minecraft had what to me feels a lot more like a RuneScape style logo. And it's kind of interesting thinking about any version of the design not having the creeper in it, but there you go. It looks like they integrated a pickaxe that would go behind the raft parts of the letters. You had the block in the background. That just looks like a Minecraft server that I would join on to. This one definitely feels very MMO style. Yeah, and some of these were sketched out by Junkboy, who originally used to do their merch. I believe that'd be this one over here. Until eventually they decided that you can't beat the classic. If I got myself pig, breed them up, and then take this pig right here, I can't saddle it up the same that I can its parents. It's not even like I could breed the saddle off of both of them. It's not hereditary. You just can't saddle baby pigs. They used to be able to, and we can emulate this with commands, and you can ride them around just as is, but I think Mojang thought that this is just too silly and too weird. Look, I'm like blocking out its eyes. It looks like a Herobrine pig. This is the fifth horseman of the apocalypse. The guy who shows up late and does the cleanup. Here we're showing off how the optimal armor that you like to wear around in Minecraft has definitely changed. And this was pointed out by a post that I saw. Originally, someone looked like a pro if they were wearing just straight diamond armor. You couldn't get better than this. But obviously, not only has diamond been one-upped by netherite, but there's also just other more functional pieces of armor that you need to wear around. And so, having a turtle shell helmet so that you get the water breathing, and also no eyes when you play as me, having yourself the elytra for flying, netherite leggings for the most armor that you can get with this set, and golden boots so that you're not giving up any armor slots that you don't need to, but you can also be safe when you go to the nether. This gives you basically the best set to walk around in. And if you're really trying to show off, I know some people who they wear golden leggings and then they wear leather boots so that even when you get up to powdered snow, you're still fine. And look at this. This is the strangest cadet on the front lines. But if you want to be the most functional, this is pretty good. I would call this an explorer kit, but if I'm going to PvP, I'm obviously going to go for at least diamond armor, hopefully a full set of netherite. This weird contraption that we see here is how we originally used to build up speed with our minecarts. So originally what would happen is that you would have the minecarts on the sides here, and this would for some reason just boost you off. Basically, it was like entity cramming to get your elytra boost before we even had it. So what you would do, you'd send your minecart through here with you in it, and that would just shoot you off with speed in both ways. It was a bi-directional booster, but now it's barely even a B. It's bye-bye. Now, there's some people who talk about an albino Enderman, but before we had that, we had this version of the Enderman Enderman that just looks ridiculous. Now here's a regular Enderman. Everyone's familiar with that. But I take this, and we see the original Enderman just looks like a black morph suit. No part of this fits how we're expecting it to. And having to look at this with its jaw unhinging, that would be particularly weird. Maybe even more eerie? I don't entirely know. So Guardians and Elder Guardians are always great swimmers, but they used to be particularly great at staying alive even in lava. And now, this has obviously changed. We can get a little bit of it with fire resistance, but they used to just be able to swim in any liquid and be completely fine. Seeing one of these come up from a lava lake would be horrifying. I almost want to build one of these in a pranks video. I just think it would be so funny to see someone's reaction to shooting up an Elder Guardian out of the lava and having it blast them. It's not as funny when it's me though. Originally, when Mojang first put out shulkers, they couldn't decide whether they wanted them to blend in or not. So at one point, they changed the color so that they would actually pop out more and be this kind of purple by default. But eventually they realized, oh yeah, that kind of defeats the point, and then they made this instead. And now that's our base color of shulker. But we can still get this through the help of, I believe, scoreboard commands and weird NBT. It's very strange to get these. When Mojang first added in ender chests, they made it so that the inventory was linked across all different ender chests on the servers, which in some kind of way is cool. It would be nice to have chests that worked like this, but it does kind of defeat the whole purpose if you're able to just have your friends steal your valuables. The original idea for minecarts was that you could fill them up with different items and it would raise this sort of dirt level inside of them, kind of like a composter. Look at that. So now we've got essentially a filled minecart here, and then it empties over here. Now obviously we have chest minecarts, we have hopper minecarts, that does a lot of this, but having it be a visual thing is kind of interesting. And then having it where you fill other items into that minecart and then no longer can you put someone inside, that would be a cool concept. That's not something that we can do right now. We can't add a chest after the fact. You have to craft it with it. I don't know. I think it'd be neat. The cactus texture used to be really bugged. So if I turn on something like programmer art, you can see the old cactus texture. And now if we grab it, obviously it looks like the same cactus in our inventory. But originally when you would grab it as an item, it would be glitched out and you would just have it facing this weird way. All right, just the observer manipulating the cactus real quick. So this is how it looked. It just had this weird six-sided texture. And when it was in your inventory, it would look the same as that. But now, thankfully, that's not an issue that we have. Though, I do like the ability to have six-sided textures like this. Mojang really has gotten rid of a lot of those. And some they've added back in, but I kind of miss it. Anvils used to cost a lot more. Originally, when you had to craft them, it would cost 6 iron blocks like so. And only then would you be able to get the anvil. So if you ever feel like it's too expensive now, costing 31 ingots, you don't know how good you have it. And when the crafting recipe changes, I get why Yogscast had the song about wondering how to craft anvils, because even Mojang didn't know. Enchanting tables used to be a lot more powerful, but unfortunately they weren't any more useful. And when you were in creative mode, it would cost levels to enchant something, which, speaking as someone who can't even see my levels over my hotbar when I'm in creative mode, that'd be pretty tough to be told that you couldn't do anything in this. And while it's annoying to have to use lapis for this, it does beat that alternative. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video, so see if they're right and have a good one, all right?